I have my helper here to get my rear tire off. He's going to apply the rear brake. It's also in first gear, so I gotta take the tie wire off. And then the safety clip. Oh, come on. Alright, buddy, go ahead and stand on that rear brake. That's it, you can let off. Thank you, pal. We're all done.
Really that fast?
That fast.
So you can go back?
You can leave now. I love the single-sided Ducati swing arm. You gotta undo the sliders. You gotta protect these superbike forks from going down the road. And the Brembo, I think these are monoblocks. You can see I've used them once before. If a guy had to buy these forks new, they're about $12,000, so we don't want to do that. Next is the pinch bolts for the axle. And we need to remove the brakes to get the wheel off, and we got to change brake pads anyway. This is a lightweight bike with many titanium fasteners and aluminum fasteners where it will allow carbon fiber lots of places, and including the wheels. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime purchase for me. A bike this nice, showing its age, as am I. You have to take care where you let this wire fall. That'll ruin a new set of race tires in a hurry, and most tire shops that deal with race tires will not plug them. You don't want a plugged race tire at speed, and you don't want a patch. Pinch bolts. This looks awkward because I'm trying to let you see what I'm doing. .28mm socket. I have not loosened these pinch bolts yet. Pinch bolts aren't very tight. You're just putting some pressure on there to keep that axle from sliding. I got the nut loosened. I got a dead blow rubber face mallet. Alright. Now another caliper. When we pull the calipers off, we don't want to leave it hanging by the hose, and you can see it's a fairly tight fit when you take this off. If you're afraid you're going to scratch your wheels, you want to put some tape on there. This side isn't bad because it's only got one brake connector in there, so I am going to give the brake a twist to try to free up the pads a little bit, squish in the calipers, squish in the pucks. Not twisting so hard that I bend the rotor, that would be a very bad day. Okay. This side is a little bit more of a concern. I put some tape there. You can see how with two brake lines coming off of there, there's not much room in there. As I remember, there won't be very much brake pad left on this one, these ones, because when I put new tires on for the Sunday, there just wasn't much left. Actually, that's not horrible. I think I will leave it since I'm not having practice on Friday. Just racing 2 days, so there's that eight lap sessions total. Okay, let's try to pull this tire. Remember, I hit the axle from the other side. Support the wheel with both feet. Axle slides out because I got some lubricant on it. I think it's not Molykote. Geez, I don't even remember what it's called now. Gotta get the tie wire off of the sump drain bolt for the oil. We have lock wire on the oil filter also because they require it. Even though the way the Ducati has a tapered sump here for the filter to fit in, tech inspection says you have to have safety wire on it. Well, that's okay, I don't care, I'll take the time to do that. But if you look, if you don't have a K&N filter, you got nothing to wire to, so you put a hose clamp on there. The hose clamp is wedged up there. As long as that's tight, there, it can't rotate off. But hey, I want to follow the rules. The filler plug, it has to be wired, and I gotta take that off anyway so I can add oil. Pull the sump, drain the sump. It's a magnet on the bottom. Let's have a look. Ah yeah, no metallic flakes. That would tell us our rockers, desmodromic rockers, might be flaking. There's just a little bit of metal trash in the bottom. Magnet worked fine. So the clutch, there's dry clutch, so there's never any clutch material in there. Just maybe some transmission shavings and hopefully no mechanical parts. I am a cheap SOB. I do no longer change oil after every race. It's under 100 miles a weekend. So I'm more of a seasonal guy now. These cool wrenches at Harbor Freight. Oh yeah, here it comes. We are so lucky where I live, we get to take oil in for recycling for free. When I say free, it's part of our tax base, so we actually pay taxes for it. But that really makes it easier for people that might want to cheap out and not have their oil, take their oil safely somewhere and do something nasty with it. not cool. Time is running short for me, so everything will be done in reverse order, putting it back together. I'll show you some little bit of tie wire when I do the tires. But other than that, thanks for watching. I like to use these high flow filters. They're inexpensive. They've tested very, very well in several independent tests that I have read. So the internals are on most of the filters are exactly as OEM, and I'm using 1040 full synthetic. You pick your brand. I'm not a believer that it makes a difference what brand is, as long as it's reputable. And these big twins love full synthetic. Most Ducatis and a lot of twins use 2040. These high revving racing engines, like 12,000 RPM. Maybe this is 11, I don't remember. She just shuts off for me when she's at red line. They need 1040. So you make sure your O-ring is on your old filter, and it is. I already wiped around here and made it clean with one rag. Double checking. Put a little oil for get the material damp, and spin her on.